Alright guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and in this one it is time to talk about some brand new update news, especially since we just recently got an announcement of a brand new vehicle, and we're going to be going over all of the details about that we know so far, and also trying to figure out how it works based on like the description, you know, the images, stuff like that. Also, we've got to talk about a possible St. Patrick's Day event or something that may be coming up soon, judging from other clues that have seemingly been sprinkled around, as well as a bunch of other update stuff as well. So overall, it's going to be a very fun video, and if you do enjoy it and you want to help support me, be sure to use code TheLlamaSir in the item shop. And shout out to these people on screen for using my code and tweeting me a picture of them using my code. As you guys know, I sometimes may choose people that send me a picture of them using my code again, but if they send me a picture on Twitter, I sometimes choose people and shout out their Twitter names in a video. But overall, guys, huge thanks to those of you who have been supporting me with that. But yeah, guys, on top of that, be sure to hit that like button down below, as well as comment what has been your favorite vehicle in Season 8. Since we're getting a new one, guys, I'm curious to see, is it the drift board, the quad crasher, or I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe it could be the planes. For me, I'm really loving the drift board, but without further ado here, let's jump on into the video itself. And you know what? Let's just start off with a bit of interesting news about something that's supposedly going to be changing eventually. We don't know if it's going to be in the next update. And again, guys, the next update is more than likely going to be the 8.10 update. We talked about this in my previous update video, so if you want the details on like when it's likely going to release, as well as just a bunch of other update news, be sure to check out my previous video. It'll also be linked at the end of this video as a card, so you can just click that. But yeah, we haven't gotten like an official announcement of the release date quite yet, so I'll probably update you guys on my Twitter account about that. But either way, we're getting off track. The thing I want to talk about right here has to do with the item shop. That's right, guys, and something that, you know, a lot of people have been suggesting for a while now. Well, we recently got a little bit of info about it, and that has to do with a way of like reducing accidental purchases from the item shop, because as you guys know, the current way is kind of just with the refund request system, but you only get 3 of those. So this news actually comes from Dan, I believe that's his name. He's one of the Epic Games employees, but he made a comment over on Reddit about this, and basically I'll just read what he said. He says, "We neither want to add friction for players, nor do we want to benefit from accidental purchases or players regretting a purchase. Our initial solution for this was to add a refund token system. As an ongoing iteration, we are going to introduce an undo button to the store page that allows you to easily refund without using up a token within a 5-minute time window, assuming you haven't started a match since purchase." And then he also goes on to say, PlayStation 4 in Japan is a bit of a special case due to XO button meaning being swapped by default, and there also being options to reverse the meanings of the buttons. So yeah, guys, it looks like what's likely going to happen is that there is going to be an undo button feature. So if you do accidentally purchase something, there's going to be maybe a button you can press within, again, he says, a 5-minute time window to undo that purchase if, again, you purchased it by accident. So yeah, that should be helpful. And also that bit about PlayStation 4 in Japan, apparently their version of it does have a confirmation page, but again, that seems to be due to the like confusion that maybe can be caused by the XO button meaning and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty interesting. We don't know when that'll be added. Maybe it'll be added next update, but honestly, it could, you know, take a long time. We really don't know at this moment. Now after that, guys, let's talk about a possible new event for St. Patrick's Day, because I just recently noticed this, but there's a clue or like a couple of clues maybe hidden in the battle pass pointing towards this. Now, as you guys may know, St. Patrick's Day is coming up very, very soon. I believe it is on the 17th. Let me double check. Yeah, Sunday, March 17th is St. Patrick's Day, which is coming up very, very soon, a little bit under a week. So could they be doing something special for that? Now, again, last season, I don't believe we had like a special event or something like that, but we did get special skins that came into the item shop. I believe we got a pickaxe and also this skin right here. Now, with that being said, I wanted to point this out because if you take a look in the battle pass, there are a few items themed around St. Patrick's Day. Now, you may or may not have already noticed them, but the first of which is pretty obvious, is the Sergeant Green Clover loading screen, which, as you can see, features that skin from last year. And also, I think the pickaxe, you know, it's a loading screen, so it may be a little bit different, but isn't that a little bit interesting that they decided to now bring this type of a loading screen featuring this skin? I think it may not be a coincidence. Now, on top of that, you also have the Clover's Contrail, which is definitely pretty interesting, and that is part of the Green Clover set as well, but that's not the only item. If you go over a little bit more, you can find the 4-leaf clover emoticon, which is also, I think, I believe part of the Green Clover set. So yeah, guys, could this be hinting towards something special happening for St. Patrick's Day? Now again, we don't know for sure, but maybe we'll be seeing a small event for it. Maybe we'll be getting more challenges. It's definitely possible, especially recently for Valentine's Day. We kind of got challenges for Valentine's Day a bit. It was also sort of the overtime challenges for that little bit of time after the season last season, as you guys know. So, challenges are possible, but we don't know for sure yet. Also, maybe we'll just be getting like a new skin in the item shop or something like that. Again, it's hard to say at this moment, but I do find it very interesting that they would include these in the battle pass at this time, especially since in the past couple of battle passes, they've included like holiday themed skins, and then other skins have come into the item shop around those same holidays. Like, for example, Sergeant Winter was seemingly Christmas or, holiday themed, and then we got other like, holiday Christmas type skins into the item shop. So who knows? That's just an idea, sort of a theory at this moment, but maybe we could be seeing something, interesting for that. Now after that, guys, real quick before we get into the details about the new vehicle and diving into depth with it and like how it could likely work, but yeah, that's coming up in just a sec. I real quick wanted to talk about something for, Fortnite creative and featured maps and stuff like that. But basically, if you've been building creative maps and maybe wanted to get a chance at them being featured on, the featured maps part of the creative island and like playground and stuff like that, you may be wondering how like exactly you do that, because personally I've been wondering the same thing. I created a map a bit ago, and by the way, guys, if you want to check it out, here's the code that you can input to, try it out and play it. It's a puzzle map featured in a city. It's called Escape the City. I posted it over on my Twitter account, but yeah, I was wondering how you get a creation in creative featured on like the main island for the creative. Well, according to one of the Epic Games employees, he made a comment over on the Fortnite creative subreddit, but he says that we are working on a blog post to be released soon that will clarify both featured and block requirements and provide a more formal submission process. Stay tuned. So that's good to hear. A more formal submission process would definitely make a lot more sense. Would definitely be pretty nice for stuff like this. So if you do build creative maps and you want to submit them, hopefully this will, come out soon. And hopefully that's a better way of, getting your maps and stuff seen and, maybe if it's good enough, possibly put into the game. Who knows? But yeah, I just thought I'd include that little bit of update news in today's video. Now, without further ado here, let's jump on into it with the brand new vehicle that is supposedly coming out very, very soon, and that is the Baller vehicle. So basically, we got info about this from the in-game news page, and it displayed a couple of other things like the new skin that was in the item shop, but the more interesting thing was this right here, which says coming soon. But yeah, guys, on top of that, it also came with a description and stuff like that, which said, round and round we go. Roll through the competition with the newest vehicle, the Baller. So it is 100% a brand new vehicle, if that wasn't, clear enough by, again, it having a literal seat for you to sit in. But what about the other things about it? How is it maybe going to move around? There's also something else you may have noticed on the front. There's also things around the map already that you can see. Let's talk about all of those details right here. So first of all, guys, taking a look at it again, focus on, well, the front of it, how there's seemingly a plunger on the very front of this vehicle. Now that by itself more than likely would work similar to the grappler. Again, we don't know for sure yet, but judging how it looks very similar to the grappler, my guess for this would be something that, you're driving it around and you can fire this grappler plunger on the front of it to maybe climb up hills and mountains and stuff like that. It may have a cooldown, maybe limited uses. It's hard to say right now, but judging how it does look very similar to the grappler, I would assume that it would probably work similar to how the grappler works. Now on top of that, something else to take note of is how it seems fully covered. Obviously it's a ball and it's probably going to roll around with you inside of it. It's not like you're gonna, go into circles and run rolling around. You're probably going to maybe like float inside of it. But with that being said, if it's covered with a ball, does that mean it offers you like protection from getting fired at? If so, that would be the only vehicle that offers you full protection, but maybe with that it has lower health. It's obviously a pretty easy target to hit since it is a ball, but I could see that being possible that it would maybe protect you, considering you're seemingly covered from all sides, at least judging from this picture. Now on top of that, something else that is pretty interesting is where is this going to spawn and stuff like that. Well, if you take a look in game, you probably notice these, circular pads around the map, mostly, near like the, I'm not exactly sure what you would call them, but like the red metal type buildings, these sort of outpost themed buildings. In fact, there's still a few outposts around, but like this one right here, as you can see in front of it, there are these circular pads, which my guess would be that this is where the Baller is going to spawn. I mean, it would make sense. It would look like a Baller type vehicle would fit perfectly on these, so that would be my guess. So So if you want to take a look around and maybe find more of these, maybe you can get an idea early of where these will spawn. And then on top of that, guys, the final thing I wanted to bring up, which doesn't add a lot to this, but is just kind of interesting, is that in the loading screen, like when you're loading up Fortnite, you could actually see this vehicle in the background right over here. So yeah, they were hiding a bunch of stuff in this loading screen. We've talked about a bunch of the other things, but yeah, that's definitely pretty interesting right there. And then guys, moving on real quick to the final thing I wanted to bring up in this video. This simply has to do with the bug that's supposedly being looked into, but it has to do with that weird bug where like the driftboard would sometimes get launched across the map if you were riding on it. Well, apparently that is seemingly going to be looked into, according to Mr. Popo TFS and a comment he made over on the Reddit page again. Something he says in regards to another post about this like driftboard glitch of getting launched across the map. He says, "We're investigating situations where players on driftboards can be launched like this." So yeah, although it's kind of a funny glitch, it is being looked into, so you know, something to keep in mind in case you have run into it. But anyways guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more update news videos coming out in the near future. On top of that, be sure to check out some of my previous videos here, such as on the left, my previous update news video, and then on the right, my week 2 challenges guide. But other than that guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one.